seen it.
Welcome to Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt of the Marquardt Law Firm at marquardtlawfirm.com.
Welcome back to Talk Law Radio. I'm Todd Marquardt with Shannon Salmon-Haas, San Antonio, Instagram influencer and cringy grandma. I'm proud to say it.
Yeah.
And special guest Melody Smith, who is not an expert on homelessness, but is passionate about social issues and would like to discuss this issue with us today. The reason we're talking about this is because of an executive order that President Trump signed back in July 24th, 2025, about cleaning up the city of Washington, D.C., and part of that was dealing with the homeless population living on the streets. But I want to remind you why I do this, and the reason is because God had one law. Don't eat from the fruit of that tree. Then he gave Moses the 10 Commandments. And now we have municipal, state, and federal lawmakers that won't stop creating new laws that might impact you without you knowing it. So tune in to Talk Law Radio Saturdays at 11 o'clock in the morning on 9:30 a.m. The Answer and 6:30 a.m. The Word. And
well, see, Todd, that's why I wanted to talk. That's why I was excited to talk to you about this, because I know you love that quote from Reagan where he says the scariest words are, "We're from the government and we're here to help." Well, they're here to help in D.C. now, and they have bulldozers and troops and National Guard, and they have swooped in to help.
That's right. Shannon is correct in pointing out the dichotomy there.
Yeah.
But
then we're also sitting here with a business owner, which I would love. We could do a whole show on that. I would love to hear everything about your Pilates studio. What if there was a homeless encampment right in front of your business and people couldn't get to you because of all the unsheltered people that had set up shop right outside your door there, like my friend that I was telling you about, that she's right in the center and she's having a lot of trouble.
Well, let's hear Melody's answer.
Well,
shut up, Shannon.
It's a good question, Shannon. Thank you for bringing up Pilates. I do manage the studio. I don't own it. The owner is a phenomenal person and a great friend of mine. He's been a wonderful mentor to me, actually, too. And I love Pilates, and we will talk about that anytime. But yeah, that's a great question. What if that did happen?
It's happening here. Those images you see, like from California and Seattle, Portland. I was just down there downtown, and wow, it is shocking. It's like something you would see on those videos.
I did see a news article a few weeks ago that showed a fairly large encampment.
Right.
I don't know if we realize how close a lot of people are to being homeless. I think less than half of American adults have enough money saved up to survive for 3 months. So something happens and they lose their job and aren't able to get another one. Many of us have relatives that we can lean on for support, but not everybody does.
And what's the minimum wage right now? Like $7 an hour, right?
$7.25.
$7.25, right?
And you can't go rent an apartment. I mean, even $20 an hour now, you can't. You don't earn enough to go rent a decent apartment at that income, with just what rent costs and what housing costs. And I know from working in the church, we would get a lot of calls, especially in my time there towards the end. It became more and more frequent that people would call asking for rent assistance. Mm-hmm. And there are, the city has phone number 211. You can call for all kinds of help and resources, but nobody offers help with rent. I think Catholic Charity Organization is the only organization that I learned of that will help people with rent. However, they run out of money really quickly.
Yeah.
And you have to have an eviction notice to even qualify to get help. So when people would call because they were trying to get ahead of becoming evicted, there's no help for them. And it's a real problem that I saw. There's no organizations that help with rent, but they'll help you with maybe your gas and light bill or something like that.
The city of San Antonio does have some resources, and they posted a study that has a lot of statistics that I'll get into later. But I don't want to let you off the hook because you didn't answer the question.
What would I do?
Yeah.
What would I honestly do? I would ask some of the other managers of the businesses around us that I have some connections with. I'd ask if we could, pull some things together and hopefully give them some food. But from a business perspective, they can't stay there. Right? They'd have to be somewhere else. And
so that's another question that I had. If we're going to be compassionate for the homeless, does that mean that if they're choosing not to go to a shelter and not to use the government help to improve their situation by getting treatment or seeing a social worker or getting job training, they just flat choose to live on the street, are we supposed to let them live wherever they want to?
I think a lot of these people, I think I feel like a very common question that a lot of them maybe are choosing that. I've never been to a homeless shelter, so I don't know, but I have heard that it's like a jail without the guards. It's very unsafe, especially for women. It's very violent, and people would prefer to avoid that drama and stay on the street. What was the other option for them? Some of them are on waiting lists currently to get help.
Mm-hmm.
So in that meantime, what are they supposed to do? It did break my heart to hear a story earlier today that they just came and kind of bulldozed people's tents while they weren't there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in one, there was a man inside and started yelling, like, I'm in here. That's where it lacks empathy and compassion. It's like the lack of dignity that these people are being treated with. They already have so little.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to take that from them. And yes, I know they were offering them services, but I think it's so much more complicated.
Yeah, the
than
images
that.
are really shocking. I feel you on that. Yeah. And
Yeah.
those are our brothers and sisters, like we just prayed about, that's
Mm-hmm.
the call we're called to do. Can I real quick say that Through Project is providing rental assistance for foster children that are coming out of the foster system? So
Yes.
they're in college and they have to maintain a B average, but just like your family would, they come in and they provide rental assistance, but it's incredibly expensive, as you can imagine.
Oh, gosh, yeah. And what organization is that?
THRU, Through Project. So it's, there's a statistic that the homeless population here, 30% were former foster youth. So the people you see on the street had connection to the foster system.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, and the statistics are really bleak on that as well. I think it's over 40% of children who age out of the foster care will end up experiencing homelessness. It's really sad.
Okay, so Shannon, you talked about saying the encampments in front of a place of business
Yeah.
that you went to.
Are you going to put me on the spot like you did to Melody?
Well,
Sweet Melody. And you're like, you didn't answer. Yeah.
Did I answer now?
You told your story. I wanted to tell a story.
Okay.
Some family members of mine around the holidays, they wanted to teach their kids that Christmas was more than just like receiving gifts. And so
Okay.
they would engage in some sort of community service. And one year they went and made sandwiches for the homeless.
Okay.
And
They got fined. I shouldn't try and guess the end, but I just can't imagine where you're
I forget
going.
where they were. But they brought all these sandwiches, and then the people were not like welcoming them. Oh, thank you for all of these sandwiches. All we needed was a sandwich, and we're going to be okay. They were upset. Like, why are you going to dump all this food on us?
Are we good enough friends that you know what I'm thinking right now?
We don't want this food. We want money.
You know the Seinfeld scene is in my head right now. What am I going to do with all these sandwiches? You're not old enough. Don't laugh.
Oh, I
You're
love
not old enough.
Seinfeld.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
It's top 10 sitcoms.
Do you remember that episode?
Yes. I'm not.
I remember all the bread.
She had a lot of sandwiches left over. Like,
And
move on. Moving along.
Newman had to fill up his mail truck with them, right?
I can't remember. Yeah. Let's do a whole Seinfeld show someday.
Newman.
Well,
She is a Seinfeld fan.
great. Yeah, we'll definitely have you back. So some
But
of
you have
the
to say it like this, Newman.
some of the problems are drug use. And so President Trump wanted to have fewer drug addicts on the street. Is that wrong?
No, that's fair, but how do you accomplish that?
When I was in DC, I was shocked that they had vending machines where you could get needles, clean needles.
And probably Narcan.
Yeah, it was a vending machine. You didn't have to put money in. You could just
Oh, wow.
get it.
Well, I think that's one of the things that President Trump is targeting with his executive order. Cities that make it easier for drug users to use drugs are going to lose federal resources.
Oh, well, then that's housing first. I mean, some conservatives say that housing first just allows people to continue in their drug use. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the argument is that in order to give them the treatment that they need to be in a home.
Right. Which makes sense. Do you have an opinion on housing first?
Well, it's a little hard for me to believe,
Yeah,
that,
I hear you.
just give me a house
Right.
and all of my problems are just going to
Right.
be
But with wraparound
evaporated.
services as well,
Interestingly, though, I don't know that a lot of them are asking, give me a house. I think there's, for the chronically homeless who've experienced homelessness for 5 years or anything like that, they've been put in houses and then they still sleep on the floor in the house.
Mhm.
Right.
And they're not sure even how to do that. It takes a while for them to even trust that this is a permanent place. It's very interesting. It's not as though they're just standing there asking for a home. This is something that government is trying to do to fix a problem. And they're kind of just unsuspecting, like, okay.
That's the experience I have because I talk to homeless people, unshelters. I don't know what word we're supposed to use these days. Unhoused people. I talk to our brothers and sisters all the time downtown. And for many years, I didn't do it because I was scared because I thought, I always would say, can I get you anything? And I thought, yeah, a house, dummy. But they don't. They'll say, a cup of coffee, or I'd really like a Dr. Pepper. The requests are so, small. I can do that. We can make this happen.
I can share several of those stories.
But don't, because we have to take a break.
Okay.
Because my friend talks a lot.
This is Talk Law Radio. I'm Todd Marquardt with Shannon and Melody talking about homelessness. We'll be right back.
This has been Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt, brought to you by the Marquardt Law Firm. You can learn more at marquardtlawfirm.com. And be sure to listen to the full Talk Law Radio show Saturday mornings at 11 on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Each week, attorney Todd Marquardt talks about the law. His mission with the Talk Law Radio show and podcast is to help you discover your legal issue blind spots. In the beginning, God had one law. Don't eat from the fruit of that tree. Then came the 10 Commandments. Now we have federal, state, and municipal lawmakers that won't stop creating new laws. Laws that might impact you without you knowing it. Listen to the show and drop a line on Facebook or email host@talklawradio.com and let the host know what you think of the show, the topics you want to hear, and whether you want to be a guest.